Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. So TCG metagame breakdown, post Power of the Elements. We had a sneak preview past weekend, so yesterday. First results are in, but again, take them with a grain of salt. It's an online tournament, or at least most results here are from MBT's online tournament. I will leave a link in the video description. Pretty much all the top deck lists were released/revealed. So let's dig in, and you know there's some other deck lists from past weekend as well, but I'm expecting more, you know, and especially upcoming weekend when Power of the Elements is mass released and people finally start playtesting, fully playtesting in real life with the new cards. So on the right side we see the full breakdown of the top 16. Any surprises? No, not really. Tearlaments and Spright taking up the top spot, but Mathmech is there with 3 players as well in top 16. Other than that, a lot of one-offs, Fluffalls, ABCs, Dinomorphia as well, which got to top 4, and Salmon Grade as well, and the list goes on. But most of them are already revealed. So the deck that got first place, the tournament, was won by Tearlaments. The finals, most conveniently, was indeed Sprite's, you know, duel versus Tearlaments. So again, no surprises there. But eventually, and you know, if you have seen the finals, the Tearlaments guy drew godly. That's the thing with the deck. I feel that Tearlaments is like a combination between Lightsworn and Shadow, and as with Lightsworn, you need to get lucky with those mills, and that's the thing with this. Then again, this deck is super consistent. So, I mean, the chances are really high that if you start milling, you at least mill 1 or 2, depending. You know, Reinoheart is probably your normal summon to go to get your first fusion summon, like, you know, Kid Kalos, and go from there. Any surprises for this particular list? The Ghost Bells are surprising, and hit stuff like DD Crow on your Tearlaments card to prevent the fusion summon, same for Callby. So, I feel Ghost Bells could be a nice pick. Only one Ash Blossom, plus Desires as well in the main deck. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of Desires, but it is what it is. And something that for now, for us TCG players, since we don't have the Ishizu cards, is King of the Swamp. I played King of the Swamp when Tearlaments were first revealed, you know, some time ago. You know, you can kind of cheat out fusions that you don't really, at least that you normally aren't able to pump out, like Millennium Ice, for example, or, you know, an easy Winda eventually with the deck. So, and of course, Winda, it's one of your win condition buttons against Spright, against the Mathmech. So, I like the Super Poly in the main deck. Definitely keep an eye out for Super Poly, especially because we got that new TCG exclusive in Power of the Elements. That's something that the OCG does not have. So, you know, Super Poly has more power over here. The second place list, we have Spright. Any surprises for this particular deck list? I think only droplets in the main deck. Side-decking Dark Ruler, I feel, does Spright have answers or options to discard off of Droplet? Or maybe Chain, yeah, maybe. But I think Dark Ruler is a bit better. Then again, this is super early, obviously, an online format, so again, take it with a grain of salt, but who knows, that might change in the future. Other than that, Gamma is pretty much the best hand trap upcoming format. So, you know, we see it there together with Emergency Teleport, which, as you know, if your normal summon is getting negated, your Diva or something like that is destroyed, Spright doesn't really have too many follow-up plays. So teleport there to pump out another level 2 in the form of Gamma, you know, might give you the opportunity to start special summoning the other sprites you know, that are in your hand. So teleport is definitely nice, and again, Gamma is your best hand trap. Other than that, Ghost Ogre, standard staple. Anything out of the ordinary? I don't think so. It's not Ultimate Slayer. Our Ultimate Slayer, you know, one of the new secrets in Power of the Elements. It's pretty much almost a side deck staple. Depends a little bit. But it's quite pre-sales, you know, quite expensive card as well. So I'm not sure. Obviously, it's a very good card, but you know, needs more testing. And last, talents, triple tactical talents. We saw it in a lot of deck lists. Other tournaments as well, it's a solid card, but that's an iffy one, right? A card that has been released for some time now, it's always iffy, and you know, the format is quite ridiculous when Talents becomes a good card. A main deckable card, that is. So definitely keep an eye out for or Talents, right? You know which one I mean. Third place, Mathmech. Is this a surprise? No, not really. We saw that Mathmech, you know, with that new circular card, the monster one card combo, eventually getting to, you know, super factorial and go from there. It's a disgusting deck. Then again, it's quite easily stopped as well. So, you know, if you have the big three, Spright, Tearlaments, and Mathmech, it's the third one, probably. Punk is also there. A list in a couple of moments, but Mathmech, again, don't count that out. Diamorphia, I guess, was a surprise. He's not running Solemn Judgment in the main deck, so for me that's a surprise, but it is what it is. Top 4, Diamorphia. Other decklists from top 8. Punk Tearlaments, as you know, is again not really new to strategy. You know, punks are there to pump out Chaos Ruler, to, you know, get your mills going and go from there. Potentially Baron plays. I mean, you know, going for the level 8 synchro, going for zombie, the exceed, get Chaos Ruler back in the graveyard, and potentially go for an OTK. That's why it's there. But I guess you're somewhat sacrificing some consistency by adding in a small punk engine, but teleport at 3, you can't, you know, ignore that. The last top 8 decklist was another Tearlaments deck, and I kinda like this one. I was running Malicious as well in the beginning. Malicious pumps out, Beatrice with the greatest of ease. Talents as well in the main deck, Dark Ruler as well in the main deck, probably early format the way to go. One Galaxy. Is it Galaxy Cyclone? I think it's Galaxy Cyclone, right? Potentially hitting Mystic Mine. We don't see too many Mystic Mine, you know, in the main deck, but you know, it's still a card that you have to either main or side deck for. But other than that, yeah, seems pretty standard, evenly matched, and those zombie world outs here are zombie worlds in the side deck for flow. Some extra deck list, we have ABCs as well, 60 cards if I'm not mistaken. It's a cool deck, but you know, the consistency of the ABC cards. Then again, if you open Godly, the ceiling of the deck is quite high. So ABC Therion. Flow and Reese is still a deck with Mystic Mine, and that's the thing. This is still early, super early format. It was an online tournament, so people wanted to try out the new stuff, other cards, other strategies. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. These are not finalized lists, but Mystic Mine is still a card that you have to keep an eye out for. Even Fluffles got top 16, probably going second. No, well, we see the artifact side, so are you going first with Fluffles? I don't know. Yeah, maybe you can pump up Toad, Appaloosa maybe, and Force. Or is it Titanic Galaxy there? No. So, I don't know. Are you really going first with, you know, with Fluffles? I mean, you can go second and use the hand trap alike one for Fluffles to get a fusion summon, so it is what it is. This is a cool one, and that gets me to my another point, and that's the adventure token package. We know that the adventure token package is probably going to get hit in the TCG, but we now saw that none of the, well, Tearlaments is not going to run it. Probably it could, but I don't think so. Same for Spright. Mathmech is not going to run it, and then, you know, the punk hybrids are still very strong. But then again, we're not seeing too many here in the top cut, so, but still, adventure, definitely, you know, don't cut that one. It's still super strong. European Championship is coming up in the next couple of weeks for us European players, so it's still a strong engine, but it might get hit. Spright and Tearlaments are not going to get hit. Maybe Toad, but as you know, that's for something else, for another video probably. The last list for the tournament here is another Tearlaments deck, pure, I guess, a little more Shadows. The Genius, it's an iffy one. I think there are better Shadows, but I guess it catches people by surprise. Plus Super Poly in the main deck, again with that new, you know, Super Poly target in Power of the Elements. It's a fantastic card, catches a lot of big fields by surprise. I think next to Talents, we should see Super Poly either side decked or even main decked more in the upcoming weeks. Some extra decklists, local tournament, I think here Sword Soul. We haven't seen any Sword Soul decks in MBT's tournament, but I mean, people wanted to try out the new stuff probably, but it's still a deck, you know. Don't count that out. It seems pretty stable. No surprises there. Spright took up 3rd place there, and that brings me with another card, and that's Crossout. Crossout currently at 3 with 1 call by and a TCG. That's the thing, right? Maybe if the format starts to develop a bit more, starts to establish a bit more, you have Euros coming up in a couple of weeks. Should you main deck a card like Crossout, hitting opponents' back row, well, back row hand traps, I mean, a super powerful card in mirror matches, and that's the thing. Is Talents better? Talents might be better now compared to Crossout, but it's an iffy one. I mean, are your main deck in Crossout, yes or no? And on the last list, I'm a huge fan of this deck, and that's Pure Punk. What is it, 48 cards in the main deck pack? He ended up 1st place logos. Already saw the deck list, but I like it a lot. 3 of the field spell that gives you the Pot of Greed effect. It extends your plays by giving you a special summon punk, or you know, being able to special summon a punk from the hand, and you know, still going for the level 8/level 10 synchro package with Chaos Ruler, the new punk one that searches. It's really a mind-blowing deck, and I feel that people aren't expecting it. Is that the correct sentence? Or maybe overlooking it. Pure Punk is really, really good. Has a main deck Mystic Mine out. But I think the most, at least the biggest strength of the deck is that you're playing so many hand traps. What is it? Half of the deck is almost hand traps. That's a cool one. So, for me that's it. All the sources will be in the video description, and I'm definitely looking forward to the upcoming weekend when Power of the Elements is fully released. Okay? Guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like. If you enjoyed the video, leave them signing out. Peace.